On May 31st, 1223, 80,000 men walked into a trap so perfect that none of their leaders survived it. And the men who set it? Only 20,000. Imagine you've been chasing your enemy for 9 straight days. Every time you get close, they run. Every time you think you'll finally catch them, they disappear into the horizon. Now it's the morning of May 31st, 1223, you're standing on the banks of the Kalka River in modern-day Ukraine. Behind you, 80,000 warriors. Ahead of you, an enemy that's been running non-stop. Victory feels inevitable. Prince Mstislav the Bold of Galicia thinks so too, and he's tired of waiting. He doesn't wait for the other Rus princes to regroup. He doesn't wait for orders. He wants the glory for himself. So he crosses the river. Up ahead, the Mongols are retreating just like they have for 9 days. And then they stop. They turn around. They form battle lines with terrifying speed and precision. And when the Cuman allies see this formation, their blood runs cold. Because they understand something the Rus princes don't. This was never a chase. It was a trap, and one of the most perfect traps in military history. And to understand how 20,000 Mongol cavalry annihilated 80,000 men in less than 24 hours, we have to go back. Not 9 days, but 3 years earlier. In 1220, Genghis Khan sent 2 of his greatest generals, Jib and Subutai, on a simple mission. Hunt down Shah Mohammed of the Khwarezmian Empire, who had made the fatal mistake of killing Mongol envoys. But this hunt turned into something far greater. Over 3 years, Jib and Subutai marched 5,500 miles. They crossed Persia, they crossed the Caucasus in winter. They defeated the Georgian army twice and killed their king. Then they rode north into the steppe into the lands of the Cumans. The Cumans fled, and their Khan, Khatan, ran to his son-in-law, Prince Mstislav. He delivered a warning that would change history. Today they take our land. Tomorrow they take yours. It worked. The Rus princes gathered an enormous army. They decided to strike first. But before a single battle was fought, they made a fatal mistake. The Mongols sent envoys. They said they had no quarrel with the Rus, only with the Cumans. Prince Mstislav III of Kiev responded by executing them. And history is very clear about one thing: killing envoys never ends well. The Mongols sent a second message, one word: war. And then Subutai made his first brilliant move. Jib and Subutai left behind a 1,000-man rearguard. Possibly even Jib himself. It was bait. When Mstislav the Bold reached the river, he charged. Under a hail of arrows, he crossed and wiped out the rearguard to the last man. The Rus celebrated. They believed they had crushed the enemy. But that victory was poison, because it convinced them the Mongols were weak. And then the retreat began. For 9 days, the Mongols retreated eastward, never stopping, never turning to fight, always just out of reach. And with each passing day, the Rus army unraveled. Princes marched at different speeds. Units stretched miles apart. Men grew exhausted. Supplies ran low. This is the genius of Subutai. He wasn't running. He was turning 80,000 men into an uncoordinated mob. By the time they reached the Kalka River, the Rus army was massive and completely disorganized. And that's when Subutai chose to fight. When Mstislav the Bold crossed the river with his Cumans, the Mongols revealed their full formation: light cavalry in front, heavy cavalry waiting to charge. The Cumans panicked. They knew what this meant. When Mongols stop retreating, someone is about to die. So they ran straight through the Rus ranks, creating gaps everywhere. And through those gaps, Mongol heavy cavalry charged like a blade through flesh. Mstislav's army collapsed within minutes. At the same time, Prince Mstislav of Chernihiv marched forward unaware the battle had even begun. He collided head-on with fleeing Cumans. Then the Mongols unleashed smoke bombs. Visibility vanished. Command broke down. Prince Mstislav of Chernihiv and his nephews were killed trying to hold their lines. Mongol cavalry surrounded the Rus infantry. They didn't charge. They rode back and forth, firing arrows at point-blank range. European infantry had no answer for this. Formations broke, men ran for the river, and the Mongols chased them down. The chronicles say the Kalka River turned so red with blood that you couldn't see water anymore. Prince Mstislav of Kiev, the man who started the war, did almost nothing. He sat on a rocky hill with 2,000 elite troops, watching his allies die. He chose safety over leadership. After the slaughter, the Mongols surrounded his position and waited. No rush, no attack. By the 3rd day, food and water were gone. A man named Pliskina, working for the Mongols, approached with an offer: surrender and live. He swore on the cross. Mstislav believed him. The soldiers were killed immediately, but the princes were spared briefly. Mongol tradition forbade spilling royal blood, so they tied the princes down, placed wooden planks on top of them, and held a victory feast on their bodies. For 3 hours, the princes were crushed to death beneath laughter and celebration. That was the end of Ru's leadership at Kalka. This wasn't about numbers. It was about discipline versus arrogance. The Mongols had unity, intelligence, and patience. The Rus had ego, division, and no single command. They defeated themselves. The Battle of the Kalka River killed 12 princes and nearly 90% of the army. And the Mongols didn't even stay, they rode east. But they remembered everything. 14 years later, Subutai returned not with 20,000, but 120,000, and this time, Rus would not survive. If this story taught you anything, remember this. Arrogance kills faster than swords. Division defeats armies before battles even begin. And if you want to see how Subutai finished what he started in 1237, subscribe, because next time there will be no one left alive to tell the story.